Hey everyone, it's 9 o'clock. It's Thursday morning, and I'm going to give you guys a review of the trades. And unfortunately, it's not going good right now. I have lost my first three trades. And that is very unfortunate that that has had to happen. However, it's it's part of the trading process, and I'm going to try not to let it destroy my emotions, and I'm going to stick with my plan. And sometimes sticking with the plan isn't good because if you have a bad plan, right? But I have confidence in my plan and my strategy, and I am going to see if I can overcome it. So let's review. I got into this trade yesterday, okay, and this was a short. And this is the Euro Czar, and I was up for a little bit, 54 pips. I got the momentum. I had a really nice bearish candle, but it was a head fake, so I really fell for a trap. It was probably not the greatest decision, but you know what? We'll have that, and I'm going to get better at making better decisions. But anyways, I made the trade, and it went down. Okay, and then it went up, and I lost my money. I was about $984 is what I lost. Okay, you can see here's the loss right here. All right, now, good thing I had to stop because look at it, just kept on going and going. I would have been down like $6,000 at this point. Not a pretty thing. So, you remember yesterday though that I said if the euro takes off, I had a euro long. Okay, and I do. So I've lost my first three trades. It's a 40 or a 20 trade challenge, and I'm on trade number 4. I've lost the first 3. However, if you go back to the first trade in the series, the first trade was a euro dollar, and I'm still in that trade. And I'm going to go look at it in a minute. So total, I'm down $2,700, but I still have one trade open. Okay, and so remember, I'm trying to get a higher wins and smaller losses, and that means I got to expect more losses. I'm actually expecting to probably lose 15 of the 20 trades. I didn't tell you guys that going into it. I probably should have, but I'm actually expecting this. So this is not a surprise for me, but it still doesn't make it totally easy when you're down $2,700. So let me take a look at the euro right now. And I'm going to delete that. So this is the euro. I got in right here, and you can go back and review that video. It's in the playlist to take a look at the first trade. It was about a week ago or whenever I started this series. Looks like it's going to take me about a month to do this series, so it's going to be good for me and good for you guys. So I got in, and now I'm currently up 159 points. I'm up 159 pips. And I'm currently up about $3,200. And you can see, if you can see that, my take profit is at $3,800. So here's the good news. If this goes in and hits my take profit, I will be at $1,100 up, which gives me a full loss till I get back to break even. So that's a really good thing. And the way that this trade is moving right now, it is looking like I could get into this take profit. So this is really good. However, I still have some time to make a decision on if I want to try to move this up and see if I could get a little more profit. I don't want to be greedy because I'm already down $2,700. So I want to take what the market's giving me, but at the same time, I want to see if I can ride the current momentum to 4,800, or maybe we get a big move up to this area and I could get 7,000 on the trade. Okay, so let's while I'm sitting here, let's go ahead and I'll go through my decision-making process and how I come up with ideas, and that might help you guys make some of your own decisions. Now, first thing I want to look at is what is the market showing me. So the first thing I want to say, and this is against me right now, is that it's in a downtrend. And when a market is in a downtrend, it's often looking for places to reverse because all of the big traders are waiting for areas to get back in. And so all of these guys that made money here, these guys that were shorting, making big bucks, those guys are now out of the trade. They took their profit down here somewhere, And now they're waiting to get back in. So when you're thinking about trading, you want to think about what people are doing, because it's all based off of emotions. It's off of fear or greed. So a couple things that when you think about fear and greed, number one is the greedy people have taken their profit already. And so, but they want to get back in. So they might be loading up here to get back in, okay? This is where you're going to get strong resistance. The reason you're going to get resistance here, let me draw this line, okay? There's a lot of resistance. You've got this point, this point, this point. So there's 3 resistance points plus this 50-period moving average, plus look at this fib. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a Fibonacci. So there's 50% retracement on the fib. So that means a lot of people are going to be jumping back into this trade because they want to go short again, right? So that's what's going on, and that's why I want to look at it. So the first thing against me right now is that this is a downtrend and that there are people that are going to get back into the trade. So number one is it's a downtrend. Number two is that there are people getting back in. There's resistance here. People are getting back in. They're adding short positions. That's what everyone's expecting the market to do. They're expecting to look for reversal and to continue on, right? But remember, the market doesn't always do what everyone's expecting. So that is in my favor. So what do I have in my favor? So I talked about the negatives, now the positive. What could possibly happen to make this thing go up to the next level? What could happen? Well, first of all, you see this big explosion? That means a lot of shorts were getting triggered and people were losing money. They're taking profit, or they're trying to get back in down here and they were getting squeezed. They're getting squeezed here and people are starting to lose money. And so at that point, the momentum could be starting to build on the buy side. Look at this big, strong momentum. The other thing is we had a big stock market situation yesterday, big drop in the market, okay? That causes fear, right? So we know that fear is what moves the market. So people are afraid. There's the coronavirus. There's lots of things going on. And that fear then begins to trigger selling of the dollar. And then when they're selling the dollar, they're buying the euro. And that's pushing forward. So at that point, if we get, everyone's expecting the market to go here, they're like, oh yeah, this is a done deal. I'm in. I'm going short. I'm making money. It's going to go back down to whatever. Okay, so the market doesn't play by everybody's rules, and we got to remember that. Just because everybody says that it's going to go down here, or they believe that it is, doesn't mean that it's going to. In the market, it's more important to ride the momentum than to go by what everybody else is doing. So I'm believing right now that everybody else is starting to think short, especially in this range, right? And I've got my take, and there's also a lot of people going to be like me taking profit. All of the longs are going to be taking profit here, okay? So I want to keep that into consideration. And one little note, a tidbit of information, I'm just thinking out loud and I'm going through my thought processes, but there is no right or wrong here, and there is no way for me to predict the future. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I'm just trying to play out scenarios in my mind to help me make a decision. And at the end of this self-conversation, and if you guys have comments, please feel free. If you like this type of thought process, please go ahead and hit that like so people can jump on board of the stream. It helps me get more views. So, anyways, the market is currently moving, and so it wouldn't surprise me if it shoots past, because all these people that are going to come in short, wouldn't surprise me if the market just keeps on trucking up. So let me look a little bit. Oh, before I go out, I want to look at this MACD, because I actually believe that the MACD is critical here. The MACD is just starting to turn, okay? And sometimes when you get a downtrend like this, you'll see a MACD, and then it won't all the way go to a zero. It'll come a little smaller and a little smaller and a little smaller. So this, again, if I want to be patient, the MACD could pop down and then another pop up here, right? It could really do that. It could drop down to the 23.6 where you can see my mouse and then come back. We could get resistance, but it's not a deep pullback. All of these shorts get in, they might drive it back a little bit, and then it pushes up to the 61.8 or the 100. But the thing that gives me a little bit of encouragement is the MACD, these two moving averages down here are starting to cross. And if we look at what happens when they cross, usually the price will continue to move. And then it still hasn't even, it's starting to get some green momentum. It hasn't even crossed over to the green yet. So there's still a lot of room for this thing to move on the MACD, a lot. Okay, if we actually look back to some of the previous moves, you can just see how that works. Like the MACD peaked here, and then the price started to move up, and you can see then there was the green arrows, and then the green here, and then once it hits here, that's when the momentum really started to go, and then it went to move. And it actually, here it went past the moving averages. You see that? It went past because it was pulling out all those people that were probably shorting in this area. Okay, so there's a lot of people in here that are going to be shorting, and I think the market might want to take them out. So that's what I'm thinking on the positive. On the positive side, we've got momentum, we've got fear, we've got just the surprise factor that people are expecting it to stop. And so when people are expecting something, then the market usually says, we're not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to drop out a little bit here, just zoom out and see what I can see, because I like to look at these channels and see if the market's giving us any kind of indication on a channel. And you can see that we do have a pretty nice looking channel here. And let me change the color here. So we've got a pretty nice channel, and we're right down into the middle. We're really right down in the middle. So that's another point of resistance. But in the past, when it's gone to the middle, it comes up here, it pops, and then it ends up making to the top of this channel. So it's very possible that we could get back up into the top of this channel. It's very possible. And it might not happen right away. It might not be a straight line, but it could zigzag. It could solid out, take all those shorts out, get some more momentum, and then come back up. So with that being said, I'm down 3 trades. I don't have a lot of room to lose a 4th trade. And that's not going to happen. But at minimum, I want to at least make my money back. But at the top, I really, really, really want to at least get a better profit. So right now, I've got 3,900 on this current one. So what I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to follow my rules here, I'm going to move this up to the top of this channel, okay? And I'm just gonna take my chances and see if I can hold out for a $5,100. I'm gonna hold out because I think the market might give us a little surprise here. If I'm wrong, well, I've got some profit locked in. Let me drop in here on the 4-hour, and I'm gonna it's already hitting this resistance, lots of resistance here. It's already fine. I'm going to move my stop loss and just lock in $1,000. So at minimum, I'm going to make some of my money back. At positive, I'm going to come out with 5,400. So I could have got, if I would have been patient, I could have hit that 3,800, 3,900, locked in on $1,200 in profit, and that's good. But I'm trying to hold out to increase my win-loss ratio. I'm trying to do 5 to 1. And so far, my losses are averaging about 800. Well, let me bring up my calculator just to see. I have $2,700 is what I lost so far, divided by 3 equals 900. So right now I'm losing about 900. And so 900, a 5 to 1, so 900 times 5 is 4,500. So 4,500 is a 5 to 1. This is about a 6 to 1, which is pretty good if I can hold off and hit it. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not taking a new trade today because I didn't see anything that was jumping out at me. I'm going to just follow this for a little while, and I'll come back in when a new trade hits. If you guys like this type of training, if you like this live, showing my thought processes, explaining how I think about things, please like this feed, give me a comment, and I'll be available to answer anything that you might have. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.